Hey guys, welcome back to Passion Fruit, and today we are ranking each chapter of the Reverie arc. The Reverie arc is kind of short, but I wanted to do a shorter arc compared to Marineford, which I personally thought was a short arc, but then 30 chapters was really hard to rank. So I wanted to make it smaller scope, so I chose the Reverie arc. That's only 6 chapters. And yeah, it was really hard though, because the Reveries is not a bad chapter. They're all just amazing. So it was really hard to order them, but I did my best, and this is my second time recording this because I just decided to change the order halfway through. So let's just get into it. And if you guys like this video, consider liking and subscribing. Thank you very much. Number 6 is A Beautiful World, chapter 905. I'll read the short summary for you guys on the One Piece wiki. At New Marineford, Sakazuki discovers that Fujitora has gone to Marijois. He sends Ryokugu to get him out, but the two admirals instead have a friendly conversation. Meanwhile, several royals arrive at the Red Port, where they are taken up to Marijois for the Reverie. Unbeknownst to anyone, the Revolutionary Army have infiltrated the Reverie. This is each chapter of Reverie is bangers on bangers on bangers, but compared to the other ones, this one is definitely probably the bottom, and that is really just to do with one man, and that's just how many pages are given to Shelley. Way too many. He's so annoying, like really annoying, but he gets a lot of screen time, and like it's just kind of like gross. And there's a lot of like explaining of like, oh, who these people are. There's a lot of that in this chapter in particular compared to other chapters. Like you get the Oda boxes where like catching up. So overall, there's some amazing scenes, amazing moments in this chapter, but compared to the rest of the Reverie, this is just at the bottom. But yeah, moving on. Number 5 is chapter 904, titled Introducing the Revolutionary Army Commanders. This was hype when it happened, but looking back at the Reverie, I feel like the introduction was cool, but the characters, like, they all don't land to me. I think Bella Betty and Crossu do kind of land, but the other two, like, I don't dislike them, but they just don't really land as hard as I wish they did. Yeah, especially since I think their opponents were just so weak, so like it just kind of felt like they were steamrolling them, so you don't really get to really know their power all too well. So yeah, but I'll read the short summary for you guys. After losing their base of operations at Baltigo, the Revolutionary set up their new base at Kamabaka Kingdom. Ivankov commented about the Straw Hats' exploits in Totaland, and Dragon plans to declare war against the world nobles at the upcoming Reverie. Elsewhere, 4 revolutionary commanders, Bella Betty, Morley, Limburg, and Karasu, appear at Lucia Kingdom to help its citizens fight and defeat the Peachbeard pirates. I think this chapter would be a lot cooler if Peachbeard was more of a threat, but he really wasn't, so it was kind of like whatever. But the beginning of the chapter, Dragon declaring war and just getting to see them having a meeting and coming back to Kingdom is just really cool to see, and I love this chapter still. It's just, you have to rank them. So let's move on. And number 4 is chapter 906, titled The Holy Land Marijois. I'll just read the short summary real quick. All the royals participating in the Reverie have arrived at Marijois. Vivi, Rebecca, Shirahoshi, and Dalton talk about how much they like Luffy. in Impel Down, Doflamingo is in solitary confinement, wondering if Assassins is coming to kill him to keep Marijois' national treasure a secret. Deep within Marijois, there is a straw hat being stored. This chapter, I got it all. It has just like the wholesomeness and the fun interactions of seeing all these characters again. Vivi, Rebecca, Shirahoshi, Dalton, just like interacting, and it's just a lovely time, I really much so enjoyed just seeing those characters catch up and like reveal that, oh, we like Luffy. It was a wholesome moment. And then we get the sick scene with Doflamingo in the prison, and like just seeing Doflamingo is just hype automatically. Like, oh, where's Doflamingo up to? and this chapter really nails that well. And then like you get the big reveal of the straw hat, and I mean, man, that straw hat. I mean, it's hype. You don't know what it's about. Still don't know, and we'll probably not know for a very long time. But that is okay, because I remember just freaking out about that. All right, next one. The next one is chapter 903, the Fifth Emperor. Originally, this was my number one, because it's just the ending, really, in particular, and just like the reaction and stuff like that. But overall, there's two other chapters that are definitely, if I really sit down and read them and like tried to rank them, are better. But I mean, the ending of this chapter is just insane. I'll read the short summary for you guys. After their escape from Totland, the group on the Thousand Sunny receive a newspaper detailing Luffy's recent exploits. He and Saji also receive new bounties. The news spreads across the world, labeling Luffy as the Fifth Emperor. The news is received by various people such as the Straw Hats' old acquaintances, the Four Emperors, and the Royals. Going to the Reverie, Shirahoshi joins her family in their journey, and Neptune plans to declare Fishman Island under Luffy's protection. Meanwhile, Kobe and Helmeppo thwart a pirate attack on the Dressrosa and Prudence Kingdom's ships. There's also some foreshadowing with the Rage Suit and Sanji in this chapter that isn't said in the short summary, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and we get some hype with Zeus and Nami in this chapter. It's a really great chapter. But, I mean, getting really into the Reverie and like those big like story changing moments just over like they just trump over this like one particular moment in this chapter, which is declaring Luffy technically the Fifth Emperor. But if it wasn't for like the toxic community basically going like no he isn't, and the other half going like yeah he is, and just fighting over it, I think this would be like number one. But still, we don't technically know if he's a Fifth Emperor, even though, I don't know, like how you like. It's not like the world government goes like, yeah, you're the Fifth Emperor. It's more like the public, and it seems like the public see them that way. But whatever, it's fine. He's not to so many people's eyes, so it's just a weird one. But yeah, moving on. Number 2. This is the final two. The final two was very difficult. I flip-flopped them for a little bit, but in the end of the day, I gave number 2 to the final chapter of the Reverie arc, chapter 908, titled "The Reverie Begins." WikiFeet for some reason has it levelly. Like I've had to like look at the word levelly and say it Reverie, and it keeps kind of throwing me off. But I guess R's and L's are weird, but it's fine. After Charlos was taken away, Josgard promises to protect Shirahoshi during the Reverie. Meanwhile, Julie Bonnie infiltrates the World Noble's domain, where she discovers Bartholomew Kuma being used as Roswald's slave. The infiltrating revolutionaries have seen this as well, and they plan to rescue Kuma. The Reverie begins. The royals begin their conference. Meanwhile, the five elders talk about the necessities of a cleansing of the world as they head to the empty throne, upon which sits Eam. The elders request that Eam reveals the light that needs to be extinguished from the history. I mean, like the rest of Reverie, this is a goated chapter. I mean, that moment at the end is just mind-blowing, and seeing that eye, the like just classic goated eye from Eam, and just like whoa, just like such a whoa moment, like what's going on here? But it's just it's definitely it's the biggest story changing moment really in Reverie. Like that's like whoa, that's like the big bad, like that's the head of the Marines, and like the really core of the corruption in the organization. So it's very interesting to see that, and it's just like such a foreshadowed moment prior in other chapters, and it was really great to see. But saying that, there is still one more chapter that I thought was superior. Not by much, but still, in my opinion, superior. And that chapter is number 1, chapter 907, titled The Empty Throne. I'm just going to go ahead and read the short summary and then talk about it. In the New World, Big Mom contacts Kaido and tells him that she intends to be the one that kills Luffy, saying that Kaido still owes her a debt. Kaido vows to kill Luffy before she can, as the Marines intercept their conversation. In Marijois, Starry is guided to the empty throne and told to make a pledge before it. Elsewhere, Charles has one of his slaves attempt to capture Shirahoshi so she can make her his pet, with CP0 preventing anyone from intervening. Just then, Charles is struck by another world noble, none other than Don Quixote Josgard, who states that he intends to repay the debt he owes to the Neptune family and the late Otahime no matter what. Meanwhile, the 5 elders meet with Shanks, who wishes to talk to them about a certain pirate. I think the beginning of this chapter is phenomenal. Just seeing like Kaido and Big Mom talk and knowing that they are being bugged and listened to and not caring at all about the situation and just like talking about how they want to kill Luffy is just like, whoa. Like, these two emperors are just like casually talking. It's wild, and you hadn't really get to see that before except for Shanks and Whitebeard, and it was so sick to see that. And then we get this cool moment where like we get to finally see the throne, and we have a little Starry moment, Stelly or Starry, whatever you want to call it, moment. It's kind of annoying, him going like, "Oh, I want the throne." And it's just like, all right, bud. But then we have a Shirahoshi moment, and this moment right here is another one of those moments that makes Fishman Island better. There's a lot of moments throughout the series after Fishman Island that makes Fishman Island a better arc, at least in my eyes. I think more and more we have these little things that make certain arcs better, and Fishman Island gets that a lot, because especially since it got a lot of hate. But there's a lot of moments after that that really like help Fishman Island grow and become more of a fun arc. And this was definitely one of those moments with Don Quixote, Josgard saving Otahime because of Otahime and what she did for him. That was really cool. And then the ending of this chapter. The ending of the chapter broke the internet, I feel like. At least it broke the One Piece community. The amount of just speculation, theories, like what's going on here moments was crazy. I mean, we got, it's not actually Shanks. We got Shanks is working with the government. We got Shanks is going to kill the 5 elders, or Shanks is going to get killed by the 5 elders. We got literally anything that could have happened in that room was speculated on. And it was just so fun to be there and watch all these YouTube videos and like theories on what is going on. And that moment right there was the most fun to like watch. I mean, like the throne and like, oh my gosh, was kind of like an oh my gosh moment. There was not really like that like what's going on here moment. It was just like, oh my gosh, she's on the throne, or he's on the throne. But this like created so much speculation and just fun in the community, and I loved it. And yeah, I was definitely like, you had to be there moment. Just this Reverie was a you had to be there moment for the One Piece community, and I was glad that I was. And that's why I decided to make this video. So if you like this video, consider liking and subscribing like I said prior. It would make my day. If you even commented, even if it was negative, I really don't care. It's fun to just see comments and like respond to them. So feel free to say anything you want. And if you guys like the video, like and subscribe, and peace.